This week we're looking at globalised practice. Now part of that involves being able to access the law in other jurisdictions, and we've got a series of the more important ones to look at this week. Although choosing what's the most important is something that's wildly contextual. Back in the day, it was all about the common law countries. It was all about the United Kingdom in particular, Canada, New Zealand, because these were seen as being similar to our legal system, similar to our history, and being relevant or important to us. Of course, as the United States has become a world power, then the United States law became more important. European Union is important in certain contexts, particularly around human rights. And of course the Asia Pacific region becomes very important because of that's where we actually are. So if you're talking about what law is sort of most important, it depends on the kind of law, the kind of situation, the kind of conflict. If you're dealing with trade or contract law, it's wherever you happen to be trading, wherever you're operating, who you're trading with, and so on. Now there's a whole area of law called conflict of laws, which is about how you find out which law operates when you have overlapping systems. It's very technical, kind of interesting area. Full of, the exams are full of ridiculous situations like, someone from this country is marrying someone from this country on a ship that's crossing the border from this place at this time, and the ship is registered in this country, that kind of thing. And they're sort of implausible. But the important thing is to understand that how those systems sort themselves out. And often in the commercial arena, there will be jurisdiction clauses. And increasingly, not even jurisdiction clauses, arbitration clauses, where we say, rather than mess around with all this legal stuff, we agree to go to this arbiter instead of worrying about which law operates. The final thing I want to say on this, I guess, is there's been a criticism of common law lawyers internationally, and that is they're not very flexible or very portable. Particularly in the EU, they find that English lawyers, because the English legal education tradition, which we've inherited a lot of, really is focused on jurisdiction and getting to know your own jurisdiction so well, they find that English lawyers often struggle in Europe because they don't have a flexibility of being able to move from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. Same thing is said about Australian lawyers and American lawyers, again from the same tradition, the same background. So one of the things we're trying to do as we evolve the law program and legal education is to try and take into account more of these globalised issues, and to consider the fact that a lot of our students are going to be more portable. They're going to move from place to place. They're going to go from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. So the important thing is not absolutely knowing what the law is, but knowing how to find it. It's not forming a content, not absorbing a content of the law because it's going to change anyway, but it's being able to understand how those legal principles operate, how they operate across jurisdictions, how they operate in different jurisdictions, so that you have the basic tools that you can actually go around and solve those sort of legal problems when you hit them. It's not a matter of just saying, I remember week 7, 2016, we covered this and this is what the content is. It's about the process. And the content is about teaching you that process.